Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we got sort of the EZA campaign details for LR first form Cell right here. So we can sort of, I guess kind of see what exactly is going to happen with our boy, EZA Prime Battle first form Cell, right? Like what are sort of going to be the characters required to EZA this guy. Now, I have used Super 17 quite a bit now. I already did the Rainbow Showcase for him and stuff like that. I probably will put that video out before this. I'm not really too sure. But Super 17, I feel like is a strong character, which is like kind of a flawed kit in a lot of places. But he would be good if he just had help, right? Like, the problem is that the characters you want to run with that unit to make that unit run effectively are characters who are getting one shot left and right in any meaningful stage. So it's like he needs help. You're going to need help in order to make running Super 17's team worth it, to make, again, things just run a little bit more smoothly. Now, this Cell is a target Goku character that is an android, so he's going to be on the 200% leader skill for Super 17. Is this guy actually going to be a legitimate option? Maybe. I mean, he has... Oh, brother. I mean, he really does only share one link with them. But maybe he could be a useful option. I mean, what would he have within LR Cell? I mean... yeah. The problem is that first form Cell characters don't really link with that int LR Perfect Cell. They just didn't make his base form good enough to overcompensate for the fact that there's no Cell to work with him. And first, the only other, like, reasonable Cell characters we sort of have is, like, AGL Cell. Like, physical LR Cell is fine, but, I mean, that's not, like, a slot, like, a rotation character. Like, you're probably sort of, like, being fluid with him and floating that unit off and stuff like that. So, we really... And it is just very dire for villains. Like, you just see it. Like, there's just holes everywhere for villain units. I just don't really see why, as, like, a free-to-play player, you would really summon for these villain characters. Like, the play is just to let them return on the major banners, right? Like, when these guys are on, like, Tanabata, thank you banner, the anniversary banners, like that, worldwide banners, that's when you summon for these types of, like Super 17 and stuff like that, because you're pulling these villain characters, you're dumping a bunch of resources into it for half-completed teams. Or you could just summon for the 80th movie hero character that came out this year, and oh my god, like, you've already got your custom-built team with 80 million options, right? Now, the way Dokkan does content, they're typically doing, like, here's a mission for power absorption, but that's exactly why I say, like, you could still pick these characters up when they show up on major banners, right? Like, the worldwide and stuff like that. So, let's go and jump and look at the details again. This guy could be very good. Who knows, right? It's impossible to say. Let's take a look at the characters we need and stuff like that. I guess one thing certainly would be... I sort of have this theory that the harder it is to EZA or obtain one of these free-to-play characters, a lot of times the better they are. I mean, the best free-to-play unit in the game right now, int LR Piccolo, I feel like is certainly an example of just that, right? Like, that Piccolo is definitely very hard to get, right? Because it's like, you have to grind the world tournament to get the copies for him, and then you have to grind to get the Mr. Satan signatures to EZA him. Difficult, but they made him very good to sort of compensate for that. Now, 2 of these 6 characters here are Super Strike characters who are very easy to grind. Those Super Strike EZA characters, I mean, that takes 30 minutes... 40 minutes of grinding. I'm sorry, but grinding in this game is just not bad. Like I can understand why people don't like to link level, because, I mean, that's, 20 plus hours of doing the same stage over and over for an RNG chance. But, like, grinding, like, even, like, prime battles and stuff like that, it's just a joke with auto. It's not that big of a deal at all. Like, you just watch a show, and then you just click, retry after you're done. It, takes very little time. These 2, we don't really need to discuss too much in terms of, like, how to obtain them and stuff like that, but the rest of these characters we could sort of look at. So, we have these 2, the Goku and Gohan and the Vegeta and Trunks. These are the characters that introduced the, sort of like exchange mechanic into the game, although it's just transformations, right? It's nothing. It's just a transformation, essentially. It's just swapping from one character to the next. This is a Goku family support type unit. I guess that's not really going to be the biggest deal since they're the only Goku family character here. It's a shame that this is not a Vegeta family support type unit, because this character would be really, really helpful if so. At least this unit does debuff. Perhaps that could be pretty useful. I believe this Gohan, yeah, he gets, 2 additionals and a high chance to crit against an Android/Cell Saga enemy. I don't know if we'll be able to get to turn 3 to exchange to him, but that could be pretty decent for this type of fight, for sure. And then, when was it Trunks? You just do it from the 3rd turn, and then I know Trunks, he starts out powerful, and then he gets weaker as time goes on. I would love to see them do a Dokkan Fest version of, like, this exact Trunks. With this type of kit would be interesting right now. If they dropped him right now, where content is sort of, like, difficult at the start more so than the end. Like, there are fights, Red Zone Cell and stuff like that can go on for a while, but like this kit would do really well in like Metal Cooler Core, or like Red Zone Cell Max or the Tech Cell Max fight, if there's like a Dokkan Fest version of this character. Now, the thing with all these types of free-to-play characters, I've been saying this since the start, is as you grind up more and more of these characters, like, it just gets very intertwined, where they're all useful in all these different events. So it becomes very easy to sort of do a lot of this, right? So, this is the Android/Cell Saga EZA area. Wow, some of these have 1 million stages. This has only got just the 4 stages. Yeah, nothing since, what is this, July of 2021 right there? This one, I think this EZA area potentially can be a little bit annoying because there's not really that big of a roster of characters to use. Although you could use Super Strike 16. He's available in there now too, huh? But I feel like this one's not really too tough, right? Like, this is stuff people were doing back in September of 2019. So, I mean, I don't know that I really need to give tips for this. It's very easy to just grab these characters, grind them up. Oh, I should go over the fact that, like, all of these events right here are all up during this campaign, right? Like, you've got this Prime Battle Cell event, you've got his EZA area starts on the 10th, and then that's when Cell is able to be EZA'd too, is on the 10th. We'll be able to EZA him, right? So we're actually going to see his details very, very soon. All of the events for all the characters that you need to grind are all going to be up during this. And then, the Tech Skill Orb event will be up every day. I love when they do that. That shit is fire as well. All right, so we have them. Then we have this Int Trunks. This is going to be, yeah, dude, look at this. He's got the 70% chance to crit. This is going to be the most important character for this, like easing this first form Cell, is this guy right here. That 70% chance to crit and, type advantage, he's going to be looking pretty good. He's going to be cooking. Unfortunately, he is a fierce battle character, whereas the rest of the team is all Shattering the Limit units. That's sort of the one negative there. I don't believe that this guy should be too tough to EZA. Let's see, the fight against Despair EZA area. So these two, they EZA'd along with... When did they EZA? Was this when the Future Androids came out? I think that might have been when the Future Androids came out. These guys right here. Let me just quickly double check. This is the end of 2021? Well, no, these guys EZA'd with Trunks, basically. With AGL Trunks is when they came out. Okay, cool. All right, so let's see. The characters we can... Oh, wow. Not a ton of characters that you're actually able to use in this, huh? But a bunch of these guys are pretty easy to obtain free-to-play characters. You got the Super Strike character, stuff like that. And this Cell, I mean, he's the unit we're easying, but, like, you're required to use him for a bunch of these different fights, right? So you have this AGL Trunks here. I mean, this guy might be a detriment to the team because he's type disadvantage to Tech Cell. What were the characters we needed for him again? So we needed Tech Cell, this 18, these 2 androids, and these 2 androids. So, again, it's all sort of intertwined, right? Like, you can knock a lot of this. I like, completing this Cell start to finish, it probably would take a couple hours, but building all these characters up it's really not as difficult or as imposing as it might seem. It's at this point, getting a lot of these characters done is really not that bad, right? And I mean, these are all easy to grind free-to-play characters right there. So this is how you get the Trunks. And then again, finally is these two Super Strike characters. Saviors. Is this Trunks is not on Saviors, right? No, he's not. That's unfortunate. And this Trunks is also not on Saviors right here. Yeah, that is unfortunate because they would be very, very helpful to get that support from this Trunks. So it's like we're running this Trunks, but like a lot of his abilities we're not even going to be able to activate, which is unfortunate, right? Yeah, because it's like we're not gonna have the full Savior category to get that Scouter. Kind of bizarre there. Now 16. He is going to be really strong, too. Actually, he might be the best character that we're going to be rocking. Either him or the Int Trunks, because these are all Android/Cell Saga characters, which means 16 is going to be able to guard here, is exactly what that means. And, well, he's going to have... well, okay, it doesn't matter. This is irrelevant, right? Because it's a tech enemy, so technically he's guarding anyway, which means this activates, right? The reason this 16 is so good, it's not because of this, it's because of this, right? Like, he basically gets type advantage, and then on top of that, he gets 60% damage reduction. And remember, against, type advantage, so against Texel, this guy has guard naturally, so this does not need the proc. So this 16 is just incapable of taking damage in this event, so he's going to be very, very important. It's going to be 16 defensively is going to be the ace, and then this Trunks is going to be who you're going to want to, like, sort of, like, whittle him down. These two Trunkses have the same name, so you're going to have to probably keep them split up. We'll see. Sometimes these Prime Battle EZAs have been annoying in the past, but we'll see if this one is going to be. Now, let me know what you guys think about this cell. I really... again, they can fumble hero characters, and, oh, well, okay. The next 7... Hero Dokkan Fest characters will be fine anyway. It's fine, right? The next 7 super class EZAs will be great. But when they fumble these villains, you can feel it. You can feel it on these teams when villains are fumbled, right? Like, imagine if Android 16 and Android 18, instead of being like the mediocre, sometimes good, sometimes ass character they are, imagine if they were STR Piccolo instead. How much of a benefit that would be to the 17s, right? Like, that's the issue, is... Dokkan can afford to fumble superclass characters all day long, but they really, like, they need to make, like, how they did the Gammas in Kid Goku. That's what they got to do with these villain units, right? Like, they nailed it with Ginyu last year, but I don't know. They should have dropped another banner unit, like a Hellfighter 17, who is really busted, like, again, at villain STR Piccolo. That's what they needed to do. That would have helped STR Super 17 a lot, but... I don't know. We'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.